Hello friends, and once again welcome to bispsolutions.com. My name is Amit, and today we are going to see an interesting example of Groovy script. So by using Groovy script in Oracle planning, I'm going to read and set user variable on the fly or dynamically. Okay, let's understand the problem statement first. So first I give you big picture, what I'm going to do it, and then I explain you in detail line by line, what does the code do. Okay. So I have a user variable over here called entity. Under user preferences, check the variable name is called entity. So this code works in two contexts. If the user variable entity does not have any value, correct, and look at the code, only this part of the code. If the variable value, user variable called entity, is null, if it is empty, then it set the value of the variable as Texas. This is the first part of the code. So I save it, correct, the variable has no value, user variable, and then I explicitly run this code. Although you can run this code, you can associate this script with data form, with tasks, with action menu. It's up to you. For the sake of testing, I'm explicitly running it explicitly. The code ran successfully. Since I use a print statement, so I'll show the output as well. Variable has no value, I close and reopen it. There's no option to refresh. I need to close and reopen it. Tools, user preferences, and now we see the value of the variable is Texas. Texas, right? The first part of the code gets executed, if part. If the user variable has no value, set the default value of the variable is Texas. Okay. How? Case number second, when the code was written, the code get executed, you can check the output of the code in a application job. Look at the log file, application job. Look at this log file. The code executed 50 seconds before script, and this is the output. The user entity user variable selected to Texas. That is what I explicitly mentioned. Now let's see the part B, second part of the code. What if this variable is not null? It means it has some value. If the variable has some value, system is not going to override the value. It will just display, retrieve the value of the variable, use the variable and display it. Let's see. So in case second, I'm going to explicitly assign the value of the variable. Tool, user preferences, California. Right, I have given this value. So else part is going to be executed. Let me close. Correct. And this code is not going to do anything. Execute this code. Right. And we check the output. Correct. So this got executed. Look at the value of the variable. It will remain California. It's not getting overwritten. User variable values remain California. And look at the status of the job for the business rule. Application job. And the value of the variable, it executed 23 seconds before. And the value of the variable is California, isn't it? So this is how the code works. Now let's understand this line by line. I'm going to rewrite this code completely from the beginning. So you open the rule. We already discussed multiple times how you can open the rule. Click on rules. This window will appear. Your calculation manager window will appear. And you can create new, right click and create new rule. Right click, create new rule. Give some name, change entity variable. Correct. Give some name, whatever you like to give. And make sure you change the script editor, the default editor. Go to edit script. Default editor is business rule. Change it to Groovy script. Right. The engine, whatever you write over here, behind the screen, the engine is Groovy script. So first I need to check the value of the variable. Right. So operation dot application dot get variable value. get user variable. User variable, name of user variable, under parentheses pass this entity is the name of my variable. So my name of variable and name of dimension is same. Okay, don't get confused. Get user variable. Okay, now dot get value. So I'll see get value. See the value of the variable is empty or not. So I'll compare with null. If it has no value, then I'm going to set the value of the variable. This is my else if part, and that is my else part. So in else, what I'm going to do, I'll just display the value of the variable. Okay, let me write the else part first. Print ln and display whatever we like to display. So I'm going to display entity variable value is plus is the concatenate operator or append operator. Operation dot application uh, dot get user variable and pass over here name of the variable entity dot get value. Right, the same thing application operation dot applicant to get user variable dot get value. I get the value and display over here. Display over here. Okay, so this is going to else part, if part. So I'm going to set the value of the variable if it is not null. How do you set the variable? For that, we need to create a cube object. Let's create a cube object. Operation dot application dot get cube. Name of your cube. It's a plan one, right? Here you can check. Name of my cube is plan one. Under application overview, you can check the name of the cube. Application overview. Cube is a plan one. From plan one cube, I'm retrieving it. Okay, so I got a cube object. Then I need a dimension object. So I'm going to create dimension, give any name, dim. So the reference is coming from cube. Cube dot get application dot get dimension. And put a name of the dimension as an argument, anti dimension. Make sure, so you got cube object, you got dimension object. Now I'm going to read the dimension object reference. So I'm going to select the value of my dimension member, first member or second member, whatever you want. You can hard code it as well. So what I'm going to do it over here, I'll pass, create a string object, string variable. Give some name, so string variable member function. And in single quote, define the function name. So you can hard code over here as I'm hard coding in Texas. And I like to see descendant of Texas, Texas or descendant of Texas. Texas is the bottommost member. You can pass any dimension member name, doesn't matter. Okay. This is what I'm going to pass over here as an argument. This is a string object. Now, this string object will be passed into my get evaluated member, which actually retrieves your dimension member based on the member selection you do. This function we use multiple times in the past as well. So give some name, member name dot dimension reference dot get evaluated member and members and pass argument over here. So the member function which we created over here and cube name, first argument member function and second argument cube name. Cube reference is cube, right? Okay. So I got dimension, I got cube reference, I got member reference. This member reference I'm going to pass. If what if Texas does not exist, right? It will throw me runtime error. To avoid this runtime error, I'll check the size of it. If member dot size, member function name, mem dot size. If it is greater than 0, it means if it has some value, it does exist. It is not empty. Then what would you like to do it? If it is not empty, then I'll retrieve the value of the variable. Operation dot application or retrieve or set the value. Set user variable. This is how you set user variable. You're going to set the user variable value with what? With the first member of or selected member of my function. You can hard code pass the constant value directly over it as well. I'm going to pass first value of my dimension bar. So operation dot once again. So you pass operation over here dot application operation dot application. I want to double check I'm not misspelling. Operation dot application dot get user variable value. Variable value. Pass over an argument of the name of the variable, entity, and that is the name of my variable. Dot first member of it. Now, if it is a first, if it is an array, then this function going to retrieve an array. Correct. But for the sake of simplicity, I use only one member, Texas. Texas could in turn have children, and therefore, so it will return an array value. So I have chosen over here first member. What it does is set the user variable value with the same value what is selected from my array. And then we display print. Once you set this value, probably I can display print once again, before and after. Okay. To make sure we did not use any syntax or anything wrong with the function arguments, I refer Oracle documentation. Correct. So we use a print expression. Okay. Now, first I save and validate this. So save, validate and deploy. Save and validate. When a syntax error, no syntax error. And I'm going to run this, test this. So, and then you deploy, validate and deploy. So once you deploy, it is available to access. Change entity variable value. That's the name of my business rule. Correct. So now you can use this business rule through action menu as well. Correct. We have a variable. Now you can run this explicitly or use a variable, whatever you want. So I'm going to change this, call this function through my data form. So pick up any data form, randomly I pick any data form. Maybe I use this to instance. So I pick up any data form on the fly. Library. Under this, I have a variable folder called forecast. There I'm going to use expense plan. This is the data form we created last time. Okay. This is using some variable. And the variable has no value. So we open this to edit mode. And open this to edit mode and change the variable value. Okay. Any data form I use. Forecast variance, let me check. Okay, all of them has some value. Okay, so what is workaround? Rather than running this, I'm going to explicitly run this. Action menu is one way. Okay, let us run this explicitly for the sake of testing. So once again, we apply two tests. Tools, user preference. First time make it empty and test this. Make it empty. Case number 1. So if condition getting satisfied, first part of my rule. If it is empty, we set get the value of the variable. If it is empty, if it is null, it will set the value as Texas. Correct. This part is going to be executed. Run this. And the value of the variable is Texas. Condition first is true. Take few seconds. It is done. Okay. So check your log file and check the value of the variable. First, we check the log file. So from application job, we use a print statement 14 seconds before the rule executed. And this is my print statement. Entity user variable value is set to Texas. And now we check the value of the variable. This is how dynamically on the fly you can change user variable value. I mean, it will ease your life when you're doing monthly maintenance job. Okay, the value of the variable is Texas. This is condition number 1. When user variable has no value. Condition number 2. When variable already has some value. Condition number 2. It means else part is going to be executed. So what does happen in else part? Else part is this. So it doesn't perform anything. If part, change the value of the variable, set user variable value. But else part does not do anything. It just displays the value of the variable. Right? The second part is going to be executed. Save, right? Explicitly run this. I wanted to run this rule with data form, but my data form referring to some user variable and it has no value. That's okay. The rule ran successfully. Now let's check the application log file, application job. So previously the value was Texas, correct? This is a previous example. It has a Texas value. Now the new value is California. Check this. This is California, correct? And user variable is remain untouched because we just display the variable value. We did not set. So once again, check tools, user preferences, and it is California. So this is a tiny example where I dynamically change user variable value. You can use this example in multiple contexts. For example, in one of my case, I'll show it to you. You can create one button in an Excel macro. You can associate an Excel macro and set all variable value in one go. Or probably a seeding forecast. Before seeding forecast, you like to set all user variable value in one go. In that way also you can do it. So in next example, I show you how you can seed all user variable value with just one mouse click. So that's it for today. Should you have any training or consulting requirement, please feel free to reach out to bspsolutions.com. Thank you.